Hi, this is April 9th progress update. Continuing with the mission to let you customize everything, I have implemented multiple file looks. You may not like the order of file information, and maybe you prefer, for example, how PowerShell orders columns. So here is a PowerShell of the same folder, and here is, for example, name on the right, while the file date is on the left and length is in the middle, or file size. And with this new customization functionality, we can reproduce that too. So it will be under this button, and if I press it, it will show up something like this. This will be probably replaced with images to make it clearer. So if I click PowerShell now, it will order information the same way. So we have folders on names on the right, dates on the left, and so on. So let me switch back to default. So now maybe you will like this view, but you don't like the file type listed at all. And now you'll be able to change that too. So if I bring back this dialog, we can see there is edit file views option. So if I click it, it opens on a different screen. So this is now the new special designer for the file views, and you can see here what is being rendered. So we have name, size, date, extension, and for now this is all, but I'll add more in the future. So for example, now you simply want to see it without the file type. I can just uncheck the extension, click update, and you can see now it's without the file date, the file type. You can also change the order by just dragging it around. Or for example, you want to include file time into this column. We can just edit this by adding HHMM, and we need more space, so I'll add 120. Click update, and now we have file time here. And you can customize it in many ways. So let me bring this back. Click update. You have noticed that I'm not using the standard columns that file explorers use. This is because it is way too slow to render in this framework. And besides, in this way, we can also have some dynamic looks. So for example, we can give priority to the items. And this is this removal queue. So if there is not enough space, we don't want to simply hide the last column. We want to hide the one column that we think is the least important. So for example, I say that the file type is the least important here, and I give it the highest number. So if I resize it, at some point the extension column disappears. You can see here, because I've set the highest number to it. Then if I continue resizing, the date column will disappear because it has the second highest removal queue. We scroll to somewhere where we can see file size. And if I continue resizing, it will also, the size column will disappear. So this is the minimum width. So if it gets to the 200 device independent pixels, it will hide the next column that cannot fit. So if I continue resizing, only this is only the file name is shown. So this is much faster to render, and I think it makes much more sense. Then later we can just say there is a image resolution column, which is then the least important thing, and we can show it if there is enough space or hide it if there is not. So let's say we like this file view, we can just save it. I will call it test, and I can close it now. Now if I click the file views again, we can see the test view here. If I click it, we can see it now. This is the version with file times also. Then another thing I've been working on is resizing of the columns. So this is just one path with really long, with a lot of subfolders. So the idea here is we have set the minimum width of each column, and if there is not enough space, it will keep on being contracted and continue until there isn't enough space, and then the file column would keep on contracting, and we see here this dynamic hiding option. If I continue resizing it, let me just make it bigger. So now the column, the parent column gets resized, and then if there is enough space, then the next column will get resized, and so on. So if I let me switch to this one, you can see the action here. So the least relevant column gets contracted first, then the next one, then the next one, and then the main column. All right, so this is all for the March 9th update. If you find a better way for the contracting of the columns to work, let me know, because it seems like it's whatever I think of, it's not perfect. So maybe you have some better idea. And at some point I will implement the feature from version 1 where when you hover the mouse over the column, it will expand, so you can see what's in there, because right now the first two letters are sometimes useful, but most often they are not. So yeah, I'll try to make it more user-friendly in that way. All right, yeah, talk to you soon. Cheers.